Welcome to another conversation in People in Fundraising. This podcast features interviews with nonprofit professionals who discuss their career journeys, lessons learned, and enthusiasm for working in fundraising. And here is your host, the founder of People in Fundraising, Tim Wilson.
Good morning. My name is Tim Wilson, and this morning I am really excited to welcome my friend and former Harvard Business School prospect development co-worker, Brett Berger, to our People in Fundraising podcast. Brett, how are you?
Good. Thanks, Tim. I'm excited to be here, and thanks for having me on.
Yeah, my pleasure. It's good to reconnect with you. I often spend a little bit of time with the interviewees before we record, and you were no exception, and just really nice to catch up with you. So
yeah, it's been a few years, so I appreciate you reaching out.
Absolutely. Brett is currently the Director of Prospect Research and Management at Phillips Exeter Academy in New Hampshire. So, Brett, you are the first person to represent the Granite State on this podcast.
Live free or die, baby.
And we're going to hear how you entered the nonprofit world, how long you've been at Exeter, and what about the opportunity attracted you, and then a few other questions. And then we're going to wrap it up because Brett has to actually get to campus. He normally works fully remote, but they do have occasional meetings in person. So Brett, take it away.
Thanks, Tim. So I've been at Phillips Exeter Academy for a little over 5 years now in the same role the whole time. So I originally started out after graduating from college in the world of market research. So I worked for a smaller company that we had pretty big name clients in the financial services industry, and we did advertising research for them and tested their print and TV and radio and online ads. And I worked there for 5 years. It was between New York City and Boston. I learned a ton, and I'm super thankful for the time I had there. After a while, I was not seeing or feeling the fulfillment working for these big financial services clients and presenting to them and seeing our findings, and they'd either take it or leave it. And they just kind of went on from there, and they have 5 or 6 research companies doing the same exact thing. So we were just kind of competing within ourselves. So it just wasn't I don't think it was what I was meant to do. It was just a really great job out of school, and I really learned a ton. I started looking for positions at my alma mater, which is the University of New Hampshire. And came across a fundraising position in prospect management, and it had similar skills to what I've done in the past, but it was a new industry. It would be a good a good sized learning curve. So but I was lucky enough to go back to campus and had a couple interviews, and I ended up getting the job. And what I will say is that working for your alma mater definitely it takes one of the learning curves out, is that knowing the institution. So you know the company, you know the institution, and I definitely encourage that for others who are trying to break into the field, to see what their alma mater has other opportunities available. So
that's a good thought.
On the other side, you learn what goes on behind the scenes, and it's a whole different world. But no, I spent a good 3 or 4 years there, and had an opportunity come up at HBS, and got to work with Tim for a few years, and eventually took a job at Exeter. So that was logistically closer. Obviously, I was commuting about an hour and a half, 2 hours down to Boston with traffic every morning from New Hampshire. So again, that was a really good opportunity. It just I needed something different, another stepping stone, and I had a position came up at Phillips Exeter Academy. It was the prep school world was new to me as well. It's totally different than colleges, totally different than graduate schools like HBS, and
Yeah.
the prep school world is its own beast. But it's really interesting. And a former major gift officer at UNH is now running the advancement office at Exeter. So,
Oh,
I knew it would have great leadership, and I was able to get an interview and kind of go from there. So it's been an awesome ride at Exeter. I really like it there.
that's terrific. That's a great overview of your career. And as you were talking, I didn't realize that you have been at, public higher education, graduate school, certainly with Harvard Business School, and now the prep school, independent school. So that's quite a diverse portfolio in just a handful of 10 years or so.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
So
it's just there's a lot of different strategies between the different sectors. So,
yeah,
it's, for example, at a prep school, you're really looking at parents,
yeah,
are big there. Where we're at a graduate school, especially like HBS, you're not really going after parents. They're doing pretty well themselves.
right. Yes,
So
that's
different
true.
strategies, but it's awesome. It's really fun to see the kids on campus, and if you're raising money for um, brick and mortar, and dorms, or theater buildings, or
Yeah.
it's fun to see them go up and kind of be a part of that on the back end, and watch the kids eventually use it. So
Oh,
it's pretty cool.
definitely. Definitely. And I love history, and so I can't help myself, but when I think of places like Phillips Exeter Academy, I think of, they must have an incredible alumni base, and looking it up, people that went on to become senators and leaders in business and other industries, just, incredible tradition of churning out people that have gone on to be movers and shakers throughout centuries and throughout many different parts of American society.
Yeah, the history is amazing. It's one of the most prestigious independent schools in the world.
Yeah.
It's really exciting to be a part of it, and just really getting to know the alumni base just from a back end data perspective. But for example, Mark Zuckerberg is one of our top alum, and many, many, many others, even lesser known, but are still doing amazing things. And
Yeah.
everyone who goes through Exeter is incredibly smart and are doing great things.
So cool. Brett, you mentioned kind of logistics of the commute and the opportunity to work with someone you previously worked at UNH. Were there other aspects of the opportunity at Phillips Exeter Academy that were attractive to you 5 years ago as you were contemplating this?
Yeah, I'd say the position itself was a director. So it
Yeah.
was a step up for me, and the ability to manage a team and to kind of put my stamp on things, and have a bit more decision making. So that was a
Mhm.
definite draw for me, among the other factors that are kind of
Yeah.
more obvious, but the position itself for sure.
Oh, cool. Excellent. So at your 5 year mark, Brett, if I could now pivot and looking forward, as you look ahead to your tenure at Phillips Exeter Academy, what goals are you working towards in your specific role as the director, or for your team? How many people are you managing, first of all? And what are these goals and challenges that are exciting for either your role and your team?
Yeah, so we have a team of three, including myself,
Okay.
which is pretty small when you think about some of the other institutions out there. But in the independent school world, it's actually pretty big.
Oh,
So
okay.
so
Great.
so we're lucky to have a team of three. Historically, we've been a little bit more research focused, and um, written, and a lot of profiles, and just as a lot of institutions kind of have that history of being. So we've been working to, introduce more prospect management processes, procedures, and really the culture of it. So the gift officers are familiar with it, and we've come a long way in the past few years. And we have a lot of portfolio reviews and stage aging and moves management, and this is all not in place when I first came. So that's really exciting. We still have a long way to go with that, and we're converting to Blackbaud, and I think it'll bring a lot of opportunities for us to automate some things, bring in some more analytics, and really kind of keep expanding and growing our department. So that's kind of short term in the next couple of years, and I'd love to support some more departments and within the advancement office and grow our team a bit. I should say we're housed under the major gift team, or a part of the major gift team.
Oh, interesting.
I really, really enjoy that structure, and just the teamwork and camaraderie is really helpful when you're supporting the gift officers, and it's nice to be on the same team, same meetings, same strategy sessions, and we're all in the same room rather than kind of back end data and just feeding it to them. So
yeah, that is an interesting point. And I've worked at places in my day jobs where prospect management and research reports to advancement services or even finance and operations. And now at my current place at Weber State University, it's also reporting to the major gift team. So I'm glad you mentioned that. Has that been the reporting structure as long as you've been there, that you've reported to the major gift, worked with and reported with the major gift team?
It has. And as you know, at HBS and at UNH as well, it was under advancement services. So we were, it's just a different dynamic, and I really, it works well at Exeter. That's what I could say. And it's, like I said, it's, the gift officers share stories with us all the time, success stories, and it's just it's fun to be a part of that. So you feel like you're a little bit more involved with it.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's so cool. I'm glad for you that's the case.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. I just, I think you've got someone, you are someone that has, a lot of things on your plate. Your full-time job, you've got a side business. I don't know if you want to mention it. I won't, because I don't know if you don't want to blur the lines, but you've got a young family. I'm just curious for you and other people I know that I interview that have, a young family. What is it about balancing all of it that is challenging, but also motivating, to obviously have it, the day job, you with your side business, which I know is very fulfilling and I imagine takes up a lot of time. And you come home to young kids as well. And I saw a dog in the background too. So just talk about those motivations and those challenges.
Yeah, for sure. So we, my wife and I, my wife's a elementary school teacher, and we have a 3.5-year-old and a 1-year-old, and and a really energetic golden doodle, who always wants something. But I love every second of it. It's amazing. The work is why we do it all. We do it for our families, and you mentioned the side business, and I love real estate. I have a passion for it, and we have a business that invests in real estate on the side, and a lot of nights and weekends. But it's it's really nice at Exeter it's not a super stressful position. That's what I really love about it. And we all get our work done. We all do a great job, but at the end of the day, there's a lot of work-life balance. There's a ton of motivation to get out and be active and exercise, and it's work is definitely first and foremost, but they allow for us to have a life too, and that's amazing. And I really enjoy working remotely. Just even though I don't have a long commute, just the going in the car every morning and getting someone to watch a dog and everything. And it's just, the logistics are a little bit easier when you can work from home once in a while. So, but at the end of the day, it's really all about your family and keeping them healthy and happy. And, sometimes I find myself overworking, and I could usually feel it in my body as I get older, but I have to take a step back and make sure I'm spending the time I should be with the family. And I love to bring them to the office and bring them on job sites. And
oh, nice.
I think it's really important just for them to see the work ethic and the environments and whatever they want to do in life, but show them how to be successful. So
that's so great. And you actually addressed several of my other questions, because I was going to ask you, Brett, when something does feel out of alignment, whether it's home life or the real estate investing, and what do you do to recalibrate? But you already mentioned that you can physically feel it, that something's out of alignment. And so what do you do though? Like, how do you manage that when you get that indication that, oh, I need XYZ to be more of a focus? How do you pivot?
Yeah, so I think it's trying to plan activities, even if with the family, if you're not going anywhere, to stay local. There's so much to do, around where we live, and we're super fortunate for that. And going to the beach or doing just going out for ice cream, or it's always fun to do that. It's nice to get away and go up to the mountains once in a while. And we're going to the lake this weekend. And,
oh, cool.
As the kids get older, our 3.5-year-old is just, she likes to do a lot more of that stuff now, and it's just as fun for me to watch and be involved with her. And that we stayed up in the river. We were in the river for hours up north a couple weekends ago, and I had the time of my life. So
that's awesome.
So it's I do get caught up with working too much, and my wife's a good balance for that, because she'll kind of let me know when I am. And but at the same time, we do this for our family too. So it's a balance, like you said. It's you gotta, it's a bit of give and take for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah, thank you. And my other question, which you've answered, was, what do you hope your children see from you balancing all this? And you mentioned work ethic and prioritizing their health, their wellness, their safety. So just as a final question, Brett, and I'm just looking at time here, in all of these aspects, whether it's Phillips Exeter Academy, the real estate investing, certainly with your family, what does success look like to you, as our final question here?
That's a good question. I think it's being happy while supporting your family. I could get the most fun job in the world, but really not have enough to support the family. So that's one extreme. And then you could work too hard and make great money but not have time for your family. I mean, what's the point of that? So it's that balance of being happy with your income, and I'll be straightforward with that, and but being happy where you work and having a work-life balance. I know we touched on that earlier, but that's a huge reason why I'm still at Exeter. And they really drive that, and allow you to be with your family, and it's something you don't always get with private institutions and private companies. So
yeah, as you well know. So
yes, exactly.
yeah,
But yeah, no, just happy while supporting the family, and really, success for me is having a future for my kids. Whatever they want to do, but have the opportunity for them to be who they want to be and do what they want to do. And I don't think I'll ever stop working. It's more of a workaholic, and more of a passion for things, and
yeah,
but it's I think I also think the standard for success was always increases a little bit as you get older and as your kids get older, and um, college comes into play or whatever they want to do, and
yeah,
you just have to keep pushing. So
yeah.
it's really, I think I stress on being happy and spending time with your family, and that's really important.
Absolutely. And I think that's the energy you put into that pursuit is, just something that could have, lifelong intergenerational rewards. And that's the stuff that, they will remember is, oh, my dad took us to this development site and got it, when I was young, it sparked an interest in me becoming some type of role in real estate development, just like my dad, Brett.
Yeah. Exactly. It's that you mentioned that. It's fun to, Reese will come on the job site, say hi to the workers, and when we're done and we like to show off the properties, and they run around. Charlie was running around in his diaper, yelling and screaming. That's like, it's it really makes it all worth it too. And
yeah,
Reese remembers all the houses we work on, and
that's
we're
awesome.
we're doing a house at the beach now, and we always take her there, and we've been spending a lot more time down at the beach just because we're working down there. So
Yeah,
it's fun. My father had a home mason supply business, and I remember riding on the big trucks and
oh,
going to the sites, and that was he would bring the trucks home, and that was awesome to ride around the neighborhood. So
yes.
I just hope I can make some fun memories too.
Oh, I'm sure you already are, and you'll continue to do so. And we follow each other on social media, and it's fun to see just the evidence of the balance that you're striving for. And I admire you for that, because I think, there is a lot, at this point in people's lives, there's a lot of things we're juggling. And I think, just from a distance across the country, my hat's off to you, because I feel like you're doing that. You're putting the priorities in the right spot and focusing on family and your real estate development and investing. And I think hearing that there's a great work-life balance at the Exeter Academy to support that is got to be really helpful as well.
Yeah, no, thanks, Tim. And we bring the kids into our offices at Exeter and at my wife's school, and what's really nice about Exeter too, it's a great campus, especially as the kids get older, and the high school students. There's even programs where they connect with some of the younger kids on campus.
Oh, nice.
There's so many opportunities, and it's just it's important to involve them, and yeah, that's why we do it.
Dynamite. That is so great. Well, Brett, I wish you all the best of health and fulfillment in all the aspects of your life that we just covered. And thank you for your time today. It was really wonderful to catch up with you again and to hear a bit more about your story, and to hear you describe how you're balancing all the aspects of life, and the attitude that you bring to it is also important. It's one thing to just try to balance it, but I think it helps to have the attitude that you do. So my hat's off to you, my friend.
Thanks, Tim. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on. And I miss working with you. So hopefully with more APRA events and things, we can connect again.
I would love that. That'd be great. Maybe in Indianapolis next summer.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, Brett, I'm going to sign off here so you can get to your meeting on campus. But thank you again. And to our audience, you can find Brett's conversation on my website, peopleandfundraising.com. And Brett, this interview will go live on LinkedIn probably in early October. So thank you all for watching. Brett, thank you again for your time today. Have a good day, everyone.